Before us stands a modern and functional piece of equipment, a Bodyworx 2-tier dumbbell rack, weathered by time, usage, and maybe a little bit of abuse. Its frame, though sturdy, bears the scars of countless workouts. A patina of rust begins to encroach, a silent testament to the passage of time. With a simple turn of a 17mm spanner, we begin the delicate process of disassembly. Each bolt yields to our efforts, revealing the rack's skeletal structure. It's a mechanical ballet, a dance of metal and muscle. We strip away the layers of history, each component a chapter in the rack's life story. The rusted bolts, the chipped paint, the worn metal. Each tells a tale of grueling workouts and forgotten dreams. As we dismantle the rack, we can't help but feel a sense of reverence for this piece of fitness history. It has witnessed countless repetitions, countless sets, and countless transformations. And now, it is our turn to write its next chapter. The parts of our project now lie ordered across the workbench, a collection of rails, frame components, bolts, nuts and washers, each with its own unique story. Some, like the hardened washers, are ready for their next chapter, in the recycling bin. Others, particularly the bolts, bear the marks of time and neglect, but nevertheless a story that needs to be retained for future users. With meticulous care, we set about restoring the fixing components. Wire and polishing wheels are our weapons of choice, scouring away the rust and revealing the metal beneath. It's a labour of love, a testament to the enduring nature of these simple objects. Each bolt, once dull and corroded, is transformed into a gleaming testament of our efforts. Could we have used new bolts? Well, yes, we could have. But then we would have thrown away the memories etched into these bolts. A protecting coating of clear lacquer is applied, sealing in the newfound brilliance. The washers, upgraded to thicker galvanised M10 units, offer a sturdy foundation for the future. When we reassemble these restored components, we will feel a sense of satisfaction. This is absolutely inevitable. These humble bolts and washers, once overlooked and undervalued, have been given a new lease of life. They are ready to serve for generations to come. The 4 weight hangers, although seemingly mundane, hold a unique place in the functionality of this rack. Designed to support free weights from adjustable dumbbells, I believe they have, for the most part, led a less strenuous existence, largely relegated to the task of holding sweaty gym towels. However, we approach the restoration of these hangers with the same reverence as the rack itself. Each one is meticulously cleaned and polished, its metal surface brought to a solid foundation for repainting. The plastic caps, although weathered, remain intact, a testament to their durability. Rather than torturing these impossible to remove end caps, we'll leave them in situ, and instead offer additional condom-like protection using rubber caps during reassembly. The enhanced look of these hangers, when adorned with their new end cap, is a small touch, but one which will elevate the overall aesthetics of the rack. The hangers, now convicted felons, are sentenced for crimes never committed. We secure them to makeshift gallows, a crossbeam that will serve as their platform for redemption. Armed with a rattle can, we embark on a meticulous process of transformation. Each spray of paint is a brushstroke, a layer of protection that will shield the metal from the ravages of time. We apply multiple coats, allowing ample time for drying between each application. It's a delicate balance, a dance between precision and patience. With each passing moment, the hangers emerge from their drab existence, reborn in a coat of fresh paint. It's a testament to the power of restoration, a reminder that even the most humble object can be transformed into something beautiful. Often overlooked because of their seemingly trivial presence, the gussets perform the Herculean job of supporting the frame and the dumbbells. Not an insignificant task. The patina on the gussets is suffering the same paint degradation as the rest of the frame, and this is carefully managed by the random orbit of 120 grit sandpaper. The layers of powdery paint swept aside with each pass, the surface moving closer to levels only spooked about by the Flat Earth Society. Culminating to a climax, the layer of protective clear acrylic caresses the surface of the gussets like the sensual touch of an experienced lover. We have achieved the fine balance of protection and aesthetics. The carcass of the dumbbell rack may look like it lacks delicacy. It presents as the lumbering big brother, focused more on building brawn rather than brain. And if you were to think this, then you would be wrong. The tubular framework has been designed by structural and mechanical engineers. The computer-aided designs transferred from digital ones and zeros to metal by craftsmen who, using their skills honed over a lifetime, interpret the theoretical structural forces into the three dimensions of an object. It now has presence. It now can be touched. It can be moved. Interactions are now possible. And it's these interactions that the frame design needs to be protected from. The surface, once shiny and smooth, has suffered from usage and wear, maybe in a little bit of neglect. The elements have unfettered access to the surface, the access often facilitated by salty electrolytic saturated human sweat, and the ignorant clumsiness of users too interested in building their guns rather than protecting the equipment that helps them achieve their goals. Like previous elements of this refurbishment, the frame is caressed using mechanical and manual means. The exfoliating features of 120 and 240 grit sandpapers exploited until the surface has yielded to the will of the sandpaper, or the sand on the sandpaper has detached and now forms part of the flotsam and jetsam of the workbench. Rattle can spray, as previously described, is misted onto the frame. However, unlike the Vanta Black of previous applications, we need to be aware, very aware, of the metallic nature of embedded aluminium particles within the paint binders of this paint. Indeed, although the paint application techniques look similar, a little bit more finesse needs to accompany the application. The same mantra of many light coats still applies. However, this time we'll allow the paint to flash a little bit longer, and a green Scotch-Brite pad will be used between sprays just to knock down the painted surface. This will ensure that a glass-like finish is achieved. The most abused part of this rack are the rails. This is where the dumbbells are carelessly dropped by users who have completed their sets and have effectively gassed out. All too often, users with an ambitious delusion of their own strength stumble and crash trying to select or rehouse dumbbells onto the rack. The clang of metal on metal is a dead giveaway of their failing strength. The dumbbells and the rack have no feelings. It would be stupid to think otherwise. But abuse and neglect does cause pain, and pain to the other users who will also have to use the equipment that increasingly looks like it's been left outside for verge collection. The frontline abuse of the rails is immediately evident. Paint chipping is more prevalent, rust pitting is more prominent. Our preparation techniques will need to be slightly different. Firstly, a wire wheel is used directly onto the crease of the rails. We'll follow this with an application of rust converter to manage the oxide that was unable to be wire wheeled away, particularly in the corners. Our usual diligence with the rattle can will follow, taking the opportunity here to lay down a few extra layers of paint. The final act of our restoration is a simple yet satisfying one: reassembly. Like a seasoned mechanic, we piece together the components of the rack, each connection a step closer to completion. It's a puzzle, a mechanical ballet, where every bolt and nut finds its rightful place. As the frame takes shape, we can't help but feel a sense of anticipation. The bare bones of the rack are coming to life, each component playing its part in the grand scheme of things. It's a reminder of the intricate interplay of parts that make up a whole. With each connection, the rack grows stronger, more resilient. It's a rebirth, a transformation from rusting relic to gleaming machine. We can almost feel the energy pulsing through its metal veins, ready to power the next generation of workouts. And as we stand back to admire our handiwork, we can't help but feel a sense of pride. It's a testament to our skill and dedication, a tangible reminder of the power of restoration. And when we load up the rack with dumbbells, we will know that this refurbished rack is ready to serve for generations to come. Rattle cans are more than just the weapon of choice of graffiti artists. They can be instruments of creation, creators of beauty, tools that are presented to humans by no less than the gods of Olympus. And they're available for $5 a can at your local hardware store.